In this video, I'll walk you through using xlwings Lite with natural language where AI is doing the coding for you. So there are two pieces to it. First, I will just show you a very quick simple example so you understand the concept of how it works. And then we will go into a more robust, practical, real life kind of workflow that I use. So on the xlwings Lite Practice Lab workbook, you download this thing. I've downloaded this one. This is the AI coder instruction file. So you download this one. This is my personal file which I use so that you get a more efficient code from AI. And then this module 3 campaign build. This is a very practical module. Just download this practice workbook here. This is very similar to the process which I use for a campaign build some time back. So I have shared a little more generic version of it here. This is the practice file. I also downloaded the sample, the completed file. So let's look at a very simple example. Now, one of the initial thing is that I already have xlwings Lite here, but installing it is very simple. If you don't have installed it, you just go to add-ins here and you say xlwings Lite, and you'll see xlwings Lite. Connect on it and install it. Takes around a minute or two to get installed, and that's it. And you are set. Step one is that you go to Google AI Studio. So for my live work, either I use Cursor if I'm running out of limits there, then I use Google AI Studio because I get Gemini 2.5 Pro. And it has got a 1 million context window, and I have found this to work pretty efficiently. So first step is I will upload the AI coder file, the one that we just downloaded. So I'll upload that. And this is a base instruction. I will share this instruction and I will say run. So all that I'm asking AI to do now is to study this file and to make sure that whatever code it shares going forward, it shares with this file. Typically, you can also add the first instruction here, but I have found that when you do this step first, asking it to look at the instruction set or architecture first and then start, it gives better results. So now it is ready for work. So I have to first show this sample records to AI, right? I need to show it this sample record so it knows what it is dealing with. Then here I am sharing the table name is equal to, this is my table name. I format everything as table unless there is some specific reason to, and then I will tell them what do I want. So now you can describe what you want in natural language. So if you want, you can type it by hand. Or you can dictate it. I prefer to dictate it. I will be using the Windows native dictation tool, Windows H. Hey, what I want to do is I would like you to give me a code which will take all the numerical variables, and for all the numerical variables I want to create a EDA sheet, EDA table, and it should have the min, max, median, average, high, low, missing values, and so on, and in a single table. And then in a separate sheet, I want you to create a box plots for all these numerical variables. And box plots, when you create, don't create big charts, create small charts which are easily scannable. And I will say run. So now it is creating the code. So here you go. So it has shared all this code and it will have instruction how to use the code in case you are doing it for the first time. So I will copy this code here, take that code and I'll put that into main.py. Here, I will copy it here. I remove what was there earlier and just copy it there. So you see error. So I'm glad this error came. So I will show you. So right off the bat, it gave an error. Why? Because module xlwings has no attribute table. So it was one of the guidelines. It has missed it. So you just copy this error and I'll paste the error here and I'll say run. Occasionally you will get this error more often with complex things. So you just have to copy and paste the error, either screenshot or if it is in the logs here, you just paste it here. Here is the fully corrected script. So I will take that script and I will remove everything which is there, paste it. So now if you see, there is no error and it is showing generate EDA report. So I will click on generate EDA report. So it is running now and it has created this thing. So it has created two sheets, numerical EDA summary for my numerical variables, and then it has created the box plot for the numeric variables. So if you go down, we have got a box plot for the numerical variable. This is only 10 variable, right? So it doesn't make a difference. So now that is the basic usage. You share what you want to do in natural language, you take the course, paste it there and run it there. Now let's go to a more real life scenario. Look at this campaign build. So if you see in the campaign build which I have shared, it is a set of it is a 5-step process with very detailed instruction which I am giving you, right? So if I had just asked the AI, okay, here is the data, there is a sample rows and please build this campaign, do the waterfall, do the test cell, do the lead categorization and give it to me one line and click, will it do it? No, it doesn't work that way. Actual life, when you are doing something like this, it takes time, it is iterative, you have to keep on doing it one step at a time, checking result going forward. So couple of rules. So rule number 1, be Be very specific. So if you see this instruction for setting up the control group, if I just asked AI, hey, take that last data set and do a control group, you keep 15% and 85% for this thing and do some stratification and do it like this, the way I did, it will not work. It will apply its own judgment and it do something, and that's not what I want. I want this to be done in a very specific way. What I want is that I want it to be stratified by card type, and I want it and the tertiles of propensity score, current util, behavior score, and so on. If a strata has got only one record, I want it to be put into test group, otherwise issues happen. I don't want it to do any missing value imputation because I have already done it. Then if you see here, again I am very specific about the control group report which I want. I want these variables. I want these matrices. For mean, I want the p-value. Then for all the variables, I want the Mann-Whitney, the p-value for it, and then so on. So if you see, this is very, very specific. So when you are that specific, then it makes it easier for AI and you get what you want. So this is the output. I'm showing the completed output. You can run the code yourself. I've shared all the workbooks. So then I get what I want exactly in the manner that I want it. That's rule number one. Let's come to rule number two, iteration. Here in this workbook, I have shared one big instruction like this, which you paste and you get the answer. In real life, here it is for letting you know what the campaign process is and what are the things you have to say. But in real life, it doesn't happen. In real life, when I am doing it one step at a time. I will give you one example. If you see here, I am saying that stratify it by card type and the tertiles of propensity score, current util, and behavior score. This you do not know in advance, right? When I'm first doing it, I do not know, what stratification will work, right? First, I will try with the simplest work. Maybe I will not even stratify it, or I will try with one variable. Then I will add one variable extra at a time. I will not start with tertile or anything. I might just start with a median. Then I will go to tertile, then quartile, and so on. If I just start with 10 variables and a decile thing, everything breaks. It doesn't work, right? So even for this workbook, before I prepared it, this final answer, this line to get it, I had to run this 10 times, right? That's how the iteration works. Many other things, you have to iterate over it. I ran first, then I looked at the test score. Is it looking fine? Currently now it looks pretty much fine. So it's looking fine. No, it is not looking fine. Then I added one more variable. Then I experimented with the tertiles, quartiles, deciles, and so on. Then it took some iteration. Then I got this one. So this will vary for your data type and everything, right? But the concept is this: whatever you are building, you can be doing a financial analysis thing, FP&A thing, costing thing, analytics, model build, campaign, anything. You need to do in small bits and pieces. That's rule number 2. Now, rule number 3: always review. Never just run a code from there. You always review at least the pseudo code and AI plan. So if you see here, this is something I share. In the first demo example, I just sent it like that. But here I always share your understanding of the requirement as well as the pseudo code. You ask it to share its plan, approach, pseudo code, and so on. Then it shares it like this. First, it will share what my objective is, how it is going to do this step by step. Then it will share your pseudo code. Pseudo code is basically the code it is going to write, but in English language. So then it will tell you, this is how I'm going to do step 1, step 2, step 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I will convert numeric to so on. Then I will calculate this util OTB. This is the formula that I will use, and I will handle cases where it is 0 to avoid division by 0 error. So like that, it will share this. Right? This is in English language. This should tie in with what you want to do, and then it will share the script. Right? Now, in the script, if you are comfortable with Python, scan through it. If you have not worked in Python, not to worry. There are other ways that you can always validate an AI output. And if you look at this, some of the things are very natural. DPD current is my second criteria. Exclude DPD current where DPD current is greater than equal to 3. Right? Very similar to a formula you might have written in Excel, some of these small pieces. Now, rule number 3, validate. You might run it anytime. You might get this. This might look fine, but you always have to validate. AI makes mistake. Sometimes it will make a mistake with confidence, right? We have to validate this as we normally do. So same kind of campaign I have run in SAS and in Jupyter Notebook in Colab, but I will, even where I am running it there, I will carry out a second level of validation. Even if I wrote my code myself and I got some distribution, I will run a separate set of code or I will do some pivot. So the way we normally validate, same way we need to validate the data here. So if you got some data here and showing eligibles and so on, you apply the filters, you apply pivots to see if something is getting missed out. Created 2 pivot validation. I have got 2 validation pivots to validate the various steps here. Why did I create this pivot validation, I wanted to make sure that there are no errors even in the demo which I shared, right? It will be hugely embarrassing if there was an error in this demo which workbook which I shared and numbers were not matching, right? So these numbers have to tie in perfectly well. So the rule is that you validate as you normally do. Different kind of apps will have different kind of validation process. If you are doing an automation app, it will have a different validation process, campaign build different, model variation different. So rule number 5. Once I have done this skip in my live work, wherever I have done something like this, especially campaign builds or model builds and all, model build of course I do in Jupyter, I do in Jupyter or Colab, but any automation or something, once I have done it, I will send the result to AI, copy paste the whole code and ask it to do a critical evaluation looking for mistake, error, anything data leakage or any critical faults and error and improvement areas. Depending on the type of thing which I am trying to do, I will ask him to find out those kind of, do a complete unbiased audit. So it will come out with a result like this. This I will do in a new session, by the way, and I have shared this in one of my previous posts and all. This I will do in a new session. We'll come back with an audit report like this, critical audit result. So critical fault number 1, data leakage in lead categorization, so and so, so and so. Critical fault number 2, so and so, so and so. Logical flaw in waterfall exclusion. This is the problem. Why it is critical? Because they are not investigated. That means customer with missing balances or limit information are incorrectly kept. So now we have to evaluate. Here it doesn't make sense because I know there is no missing values there. So you have to assess, okay, is this really critical? Have I taken care of it or not? And then it will have later on, it will have minor areas for improvement and so on. I can assure you for all my critical live projects, just before I send it to my on the client side, before that code, at that point I do an audit, I can guarantee you that 99% of time it will find at least one thing that you need to change. So those are the some of the core rules which I followed. Different type of application, if I'm doing an automation app, web scraping, some of the things different, but that is the basic that is the basic concept. So xlwings Lite with natural language, it provides you a very powerful and efficient way of doing this. But important thing is you do not let go of the process, validation and checkpointing process. Now it takes time. At time it is frustrating. At time AI will run into errors which you need to copy paste there, like I showed you earlier, and so on. But I can tell you that it is far faster if I had to code it myself. Python, I can code it probably at typing speed, but even there it is far faster, far efficient. And all the workbook, example file, everything is available in the xlwings Practice Lab on the main site. You guys just go to xlwings Practice Lab. You will land up here. You will find everything here.